Thank you, DICT, for inviting us to speak in this panel. I'm going to discuss about the innovation, the transformation we are doing at Paytaka. So Paytaka, as you can tell, is a financial technology company, and we are specifically creating a crypto wallet. Crypto. I bet many of you have heard that word. Paytaka, your money, your control. That's our tagline. How do I... Next slide, please. Ayan. Our life has become increasingly digital. We know this, especially during the pandemic. Many of the things we do are being done online or at least involving the internet. We communicate. We even buy more things online now since the pandemic. And more importantly, money is going digital. It's going cashless. That's why GCash, PayMaya, online banking have become very popular during the pandemic. So we are going there, no matter if we like it or not. But there's a problem because digital payments processing is exorbitantly costly, which is ironic because we are transitioning to a digital life, and yet spending money over the internet is very expensive. You may not feel it as end customers because the merchants are taking the cover. And why is this the case? Why is this system seems a bit broken? It's because legacy digital money or the traditional electronic cash is heavily intermediated. Ang daming layers and intermediaries. Kapag nagbabayad ka, your payment goes through the bank, the financial institutions in between. And in this whole process, there are multiple points of failure, hacks, and thefts that can happen. So what they do is to put a lot of security layers to protect the systems, but because it's fundamentally built on trust, and that trust has been historically broken so many times. That's why there are many reported cases of hacks resulting to loss of funds from your e-wallets, bank accounts. So this is a fundamental problem in the internet these days. Traditional electronic cash needs to be reinvented. Somebody, sometime around October 2008, published a research paper. He published this anonymously. His name is, we don't know if it's real, Satoshi Nakamoto. According to him, after describing the problem that I just described earlier, what we need is an electronic payment system that is based on cryptographic proof or cryptography. For those who are into computer science, they understand that. We need a payment system that's based on this instead of trust and allowing any two willing parties to transact with each other without the need for a trusted third party. So he's calling for elimination of all those intermediaries and custodians of our money in the digital age. In other words, he wants money that's designed from scratch to be for the internet, the money for the internet. And that's called Bitcoin. That's the title of the white paper, Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Bitcoin has had its share of success, but in 2017 there was an upgrade in order to increase the capacity. Bitcoin Cash was born, and it was meant to increase the capacity so that the original use case of electronic cash is preserved. If you compare Bitcoin Cash against the legacy payment systems, you will notice that in Bitcoin Cash, the sender and the receiver, between them is just the network. And this network is not even capable of stealing funds. It's just there to verify transactions. And only if you, the sender, signs the transaction with a digital signature, it's the only time that this transaction is ever executed in the network. So there's no chance in the whole network that your funds are going to be stolen. Compare that to the legacy payment systems, where again, there are many points of failure in the convoluted process. What benefits does Bitcoin Cash give to ordinary end users, you may ask? The number one thing is self-custody of your digital money. For the first time in the history of the internet, it's now possible to have digital money and at the same time have custody of it. Because the current forms of digital money, the moment you deposit your money in the bank, it's not yours anymore. It can be hacked. It can be stolen from you because the legacy system of money is broken, as I've said. Bitcoin Cash fixes that. You now have self-custody of your money, and it's also digital at the same time. In other words, you are protected from massive hacks and theft, which is common in legacy systems. The other big benefit is cost savings, because in the legacy system, ang daming layers of security that adds up to the cost. So now it's very cheap to transfer Bitcoin Cash over the network. Imagine, you can send 100 million peso worth of Bitcoin Cash and just pay 2 peso cents in fees. It doesn't even compare to like credit cards or other forms of digital money. And this means that this savings of cost, this will all be translated to reduce prices of products and services that you buy online. So, mas marami ka na mabibili sa 1111, 1212. That is if Bitcoin Cash is being used for payments. Paytaka, so ito ang role namin. This is where we come in. We are bridging this gap. Bitcoin Cash is there, it's working efficiently as electronic cash, but we need to translate this into actual value to end users. So what we did is build a crypto wallet that's focused on Bitcoin Cash. It's a self-custody wallet. In other words, once your funds are in the wallet, it's only you who can spend it. Nobody else. As long as you don't share your private keys to other people. The other thing is we are bridging the cost savings that comes from more efficient payments processing. We are building platforms accessible through the app that will bring the prices of products and services down, simply because we have nearly zero overhead on payments processing. So coming soon is our marketplace, where our merchants who we have onboarded, they now accept Bitcoin Cash, will soon be able to list their products there. You can then order food from the app, have it delivered to your address, and pay 20% less compared to competitors. I will not name the competitors, but they're there. And many merchants are not happy about 30% up to 50% markup. We can bring that down to 10%, simply because we are using Bitcoin Cash as a payment option. We have onboarded a number of merchants in Tacloban already. We have 15 fully onboarded merchants and 15 more who will be onboarded. These are the businesses who now accept Bitcoin Cash. And, of course, we will not stop in Tacloban. We want to go global. And for us, there is an advantage because Bitcoin Cash is accepted on many countries outside of the Philippines. So once we prove that our business model works in Tacloban, this is where we start. We expand to other parts of Eastern Visayas, to other parts of the country, and to the rest of the world. In fact, we have more users abroad than here in the Philippines. And we got some funding from investors outside the country. So we had 2 crowdfunding last year, and then we got seed funding this year, amounting to 30 million pesos funding raised in total so far. This is our team. I'm in the middle. Yung mas guwapo na on my left is Sir Michael Machica, our CFO. Yung pinakagwapo doon si Aaron. And this is the whole team of Paytaka. We are based in Tacloban, making this change in the world because we believe that the world needs peer-to-peer electronic cash, so we work on making this accessible to everyone, everywhere. Thank you.